Curse of the Black Stone. Delincia the Cimmerian was weary of her travels. She had seen many lands and fought many foes, but she longed for a place to rest and enjoy the spoils of her adventures. She decided to head for the city of Zambula, where she heard of a rich and decadent culture, full of pleasures and riches. She arrived at the city gates at dusk, and was greeted by the sight that filled her with wonder and curiosity. The city was built on a hill, surrounded by a high wall of black stone. The wall was carved with strange symbols and images, unlike anything Delincia had ever seen. The city itself was a maze of narrow streets and tall buildings, lit by torches and lanterns. The air was filled with sounds of music and laughter, and the smell of spices and perfumes. Delincia entered the city, looking for a tavern where she could find food and drink and company. She soon found one that seemed to suit her tastes, a large and noisy establishment with a sign that read, "The Black Stone." She pushed her way through the crowd of patrons, who were mostly men of various races and nations, dressed in colorful and exotic garments. She reached the bar where a fat, balding innkeeper greeted her with a smile. "Welcome to the Black Stone, stranger," he said. "What can I do for you?" "A mug of ale and a plate of meat, and a bed for the night," Delincia said. "That'll be 2 silver pieces," the innkeeper said. Delincia tossed him the coins and took her ale. She looked around the tavern and saw that it was decorated with various objects and curiosities from different lands. She noticed a large black stone on a pedestal in the corner, covered with carvings similar to those on the city walls. "What is that?" she asked the innkeeper, pointing at the stone. "That is the Black Stone," the innkeeper said. "It is the reason why this tavern is named so. It is an ancient relic, brought here by the first settlers of Zambula. They say it came from a faraway land, where dark and terrible things dwell. They say it was a power that can grant wishes, or curse those who touch it." "Is that so?" Delincia said. "And who has touched it?" "Many have tried, but none have succeeded," the innkeeper said. "The stone is guarded by a spell that repels anyone who comes near it. Only those who are worthy can approach it, or so they say." "And who decides who's worthy?" Delincia asked. "No one knows," the innkeeper said. "Some say it is the will of the gods. Some say it is the whim of fate. Some say it is the voice of madness. But no one has ever heard it speak or seen it move." Delincia shrugged. She did not care much for gods or fate or madness. She only cared for what she could see and touch and feel. She drank her ale, ate her meat, and went to her room. She lay down on her bed and fell asleep. She dreamt of the Black Stone. She dreamt that she was standing in front of it in a dark, silent chamber. The stone was larger than she had remembered, towering over her like a monolith. It was covered with carvings that seemed to writhe and change before her eyes. She felt a strange attraction to it, a pull that she could not resist. She reached her hand out to touch it. She felt a shock run through her body, as if she'd been struck by lightning. She gasped in pain and fear, but she could not withstand its draw. The stone held her fast like a magnet. She heard a voice in her head. It was not human. It was not sane. It spoke in a language that she did not know, but somehow understood. It said, "I am the Black Stone. I am older than time. I am wiser than gods. I am stronger than fate. I am darker than madness. I have seen worlds rise and fall. I have seen and heard secrets that no one should know. I have granted wishes that no one should ask. I have cursed those who dare to touch me. You are not worthy. You are nothing. You are mine." Delincia felt a strange surge of terror and rage. She tried to break free from the stone's grip, but she could not move. She felt her mind being invaded by the stone's presence, probing her thoughts and memories, searching her for her fears and weaknesses. She screamed. She woke up. She was still in her bed in the room in her tavern. She was soaked in sweat, and her heart was pounding. She looked around and saw that everything was normal. There was no sign of the stone, or the chamber, or the voice. It was just a dream. Or was it? She got up and grabbed her sword. She decided to leave the tavern in the city as soon as possible. She did not want to stay near the black stone any longer. She did not want to hear its voice again. She opened the door and stepped out. She saw the black stone. It was waiting for her. It was real.